with one exception, they got way, way less fat and way, way less calories than were recommended. And this is what they thought.
I think I observed a bit of that too, meeting some Chinese girls over there, and they had the impression that they were fat or overweight, and they were, and it was shocking to me because
they were skinny.
Yeah, I didn't see. I don't know if I saw a single person you consider overweight over there.
We have two girls in our class this year who are, rather you'd say they're not overweight, but they're not skinny. Mm-hmm. Right? I think the American way of saying is that they're built. Right? I mean, they're not skinny, but they're certainly not overweight. But most of them are skinny. And that's not a change from before. What's changed from before is starving themselves, or thinking that they ought to be starving themselves. Anyway, it was a really interesting, and it was an honors thesis for Anthro last year. And then I think this is the last one. Angela she was an art history major. And what she did was to interview artists and find out what the contemporary art scene was like in Chengdu. And she wrote a long paper, which I just got in the final draft of, for her art history senior graduation project. It wasn't technically an honors project, but it certainly would have been good enough to be an honors project. But she went to this blue house, which is in kind of an old warehouse, on the sort of New York, Lower Manhattan loft style artist colony kind of warehouse. And then she interviewed a bunch of artists, mostly women artists, about their work. And so just some of the artists that she did, and it was a really interesting paper. So where are they now? The green is where they are now. Victoria, who I said is the best natural anthropologist I'd ever seen. She's a ship captain.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was Angela? She's still in Chengdu she does music and sings, right? Oh, okay, I met her.
Yeah. I put singer-songwriter. That's it.
I was. Yeah. Yeah,
we're getting Miss Seattle. She's running for Miss Washington this spring.
Wow.
She's some kind of a paralegal. I'm not sure exactly what she does in the law firm downtown, but she's headed for law school.
I guess it kind of shows how versatile anthropology can be.
Yeah, of course there are no anthro majors, but most of them are either anthro or international studies majors. Sarah's an engineer, and she's actually working in Pacific Northwest Labs.
A lot of them seem to have done honors research.
Yeah.
We should show this to the new honors students.
What's that?
We should show this to the new honors students.
Yeah.
With Ben's group, the new group is going to come in the spring.
Yeah. About half of the students that do our program are in either departmental honors or college honors or both. And we especially had a lot of we've had more Jackson School honors people, I think, than we have in Anthro. But other people like Ben didn't do honors, but he certainly did a great project, and same thing with Sarah. There's so many Sarahs. Sarah Selms, who did the needlework video. It's amateur video, but it's so valuable because nobody's ever done that. Just anthropologically, nobody's ever actually, done the pictures of exactly how they do that incredibly complicated stuff. There's descriptions of it, verbal descriptions of it, but there's very little video for these.
Compared to video. I mean, video doesn't compare to real life, though, but videos, we have now to get as close as possible.
Right. Melissa, I didn't get to her project because I didn't have any pictures, but Melissa's a really interesting project. You can tell from her name that she's a Hmong. Actually, we can't tell. That Shion is also a Chinese name, but she's not. She's Hmong. Her family were refugees from Laos at the time of after the Indochina War. And she has finally managed, she's been very nervous about it because she wasn't sure it was going to work out, but she's finally managed to get invitations to go to 3 different Hmong villages and spend time there, and doing the project on the kind of choices that young girls face, because she's facing it. She's still facing, you know, it says that, for example, the elders of her clan in Spokane don't want her to marry a non-Hmong. And, you know, that kind of thing. So I think she's, about 1/3 of our students are so-called heritage students, Chinese Americans, in the sense that, you know, they have a kind of a roots interest in it. Some of them not particularly, but some of them have a kind of a looking for their roots interest in when they go, but others seem to be more interested in just in the adventure. But it's usually, it's funny, I've talked to professors from other universities and they know that I do this, and they say, well, you probably have mostly heritage students. I said, no, actually about 1/3, you know? And it's just, you know, it's a university that has a lot of Chinese American students. It's not like that, you know, it's coming from Iowa or someplace where there aren't too many. So, but we've got, so Christina's in law school, Deborah's in med school, just started this year. Lauren's finishing her MPH in UNC. Rachel, the other ethnobotanist with Victoria, is getting her PhD in botany, and she's doing the origin of the eggplant. It's sort of the origin and spread of the eggplant. We've been all over Asia, and she's got a lab, and she's doing the you know, the DNA studies on how far apart these different varieties are from different places. And so she's been all over India and Taiwan and China and Southeast Asia. Hasn't been to Burma yet. That's the one hole she has to fill in. You know. So it's you know, I just the whole point of this is that you too, if you're interested in actually really doing anthropology, not just, you know, taking the class in it, and doesn't have to be China. It's just China's an example of the kind of thing that's possible.
That was really nice. Awesome presentation.
Someone is a singer-songwriter.
Yeah, Angela? Yeah?
Her job is?
She's supporting herself by singing.
Oh.
Yeah. She sings gigs in nightclubs mostly, but also for weddings and things.
That's kind of how it goes when you start out. You get whatever you get.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Beatles started off like really small,
Yeah.
you know.
But then,
Yeah. Then,
I think Angela eventually will go to grad school. She's really academically inclined, but she wants to spend a couple of years, you know, having a good time.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me. I'll put this together. I can use it for a lot of other purposes too.
Yeah. No, it's done. You got it.
I really do think we should show it from the new honor students
Yeah.
next quarter.
Okay.
They're doing their 399.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be